Welcome to Kung Fu Habit number 2. So I thought I'd lighten the mood a little bit and start talking to y'all about getting fired. Let's have it. This probably won't be a very long video because I have class tomorrow night and I want to get some sleep, and apparently there's no school tomorrow, so I'm not going to get any rest at all if I don't go to bed really soon. Excuse me. So, I watched a Burger King video on TikTok, and someone was talking about getting their money back because they seen how the beef patties are made or whatever. And I said, let's talk about getting fired from Burger King on my YouTube tonight. I didn't do it on Instagram. I didn't do it on TikTok. This is exclusively for y'all. And I can send them here. Not that they'll show up. Not that they'll watch. But I can send them here if they want to hear it. So I'm going to tell you about the time I got fired from Burger King. I had needed a job. I was already working 2 jobs. And I was on the verge of being fired from that job too. Okay, this will be a double firing story. So, I hadn't got fired from Sears yet, but that'll be the second story. So, I was working at Burger King on Pantops, and my boss' name was Don Vaughn, and I do not give a damn if he sees this video, because he knows the truth, and he knows the drill, and I will not be threatening him in this video, like I did at Burger King. So, my first night on the job, you guys might want to get some popcorn for this. Our first night on the job was like the starting of fuck around and find out. So, I come to work. I had already worked at Burger King before, but I was working 2 jobs prior to that, and I decided that I need to quit. Well, when I got the job in construction, I gave up Burger King. And I also was working at Sears in the morning, and I was working at the Learn New York. So when I got into construction, I gave up Burger King, which is what led me to the job at Sears. All right. So just to make sure that's clarified, I was working at Burger King, got the job in construction, then got the job at Sears in the Learn New York, which is why I gave up Burger King, because I would have been working 4 jobs. Plus, I was going to school for acting, so that was fun. Anyway, so. Oh, damn. I got fired from construction, too. Okay, so you guys are going to get a triple whammy. Which is how I got a job at Sears. Let's go with the original, my second firing first. Well, actually, no. I kind of got fired from construction, and then Burger King, and then Sears. But we're going to go with Burger King first. So I'm working at Burger King. It's my first night, and I come into Burger King, and there are these Burger King workers. The customers just left, and I just got in with the guy who was training me. But I had already been trained because I did the job before at the Burger King down 29. So, I'm working. As I start work, there's this really huge lady and these skinny dudes, and they're having bleach and mustard fights. The black guy says nothing, as he is only there for like 40 minutes just to make sure I get in. Explained to me what's going on because he had an emergency. He had his children with him, and his daughter thought that I was the guy from the Ninja Turtles, aka Ernie Reyes Jr. I had explained to her, believe you me, if I was Ernie Reyes Jr., then Burger King would be the last place I would be fucking working, because I would be making movies and I would be happy. Anyway, I'm not Kino. I'm not Ernie Reyes Jr. I am Echo Fang Grey Wolf. So I go in, and these guys are having this fucking fight. I mean, they're squirting mustard and ketchup everywhere and bleach, and I say, hold on. Y'all cleaning that shit up. And they was like, excuse us? That's your job. I said, no. See, my job is to clean that broiler, dump that grease, sweep and mop this floor, clean the bathroom. That's my job. Because I was a night porter before at the other Burger King. Which is how I got this job. Y'all not going home until y'all clean that shit the fuck up. It's like, what you think you gonna do? I said, alright, so let me break this down for y'all. First off, does anybody in here know Kung Fu? And they were all white cats, so they're just like, no, we don't know Kung Fu. I said, well then, there's 2 ways you can learn it. The easy way, or my way. If you don't clean up this shit, this mess you're making, you're gonna learn it my way. which does not involve a dojo. It involves me throwing a bunch of punches and kicks to every last one of you motherfuckers with goddamn bleach and mustard in your hand. Now you better get to cleaning, and you better get to cleaning right now, because that's not my job, and I'm not cleaning that shit the fuck up, and you're going to clean it up, or you're all going home in the ambulance. Now mind you, I'm only 5'3". All these white cats was way bigger than me, even the woman. And they looked at me and I said, fuck around and find out. So y'all not going home till y'all clean that shit up, because that's not my job. I know what my job is. I watched the videos already. I know exactly what I'm supposed to do. And y'all are going to clean that shit up, or y'all are going to get fucked up. So they cleaned that shit up. They went home late, and then I did my job, because I was watching over. It's like, y'all going to clean all that shit up, because there's mustard all over the ceiling. That's not my job. Mustard all over top of the broiler and shit. That's not my job. My job is to take the racks out of the broiler, take it over there to the thing, spray it off with soap and water, scrub it if needed, put that shit back in after I spray it off with water at a temperature that can burn the skin off your fucking bones. So, that's what I did. Same thing with the french fry rack. So, months go by, I'm doing really good, and then somebody's stealing the food from the fucking walk-in, somebody's having sex in the fucking walk-in, and Mountain Valley sends me this reprimand letter that says, if you are a night porter, you are no longer allowed in the walk-in. I had to fast forward just to kill the time of the bullshit adventures that was going on there. So, Don Vaughn decides I don't have to listen to that reprimand, because that reprimand said that if I go in that walk-in, I'm going to be instantly terminated. But that night they had inventory, and Don Vaughn didn't fucking give a fuck what I was not allowed to do. So, when I came to work that night, I should have known something was off, because sure as fuck, they had mustard and bleach fights, and they didn't clean that shit up. But guess what? Your boy won't clean that shit up either. And Don looked at me. He said, you got to clean that up. And I said, no, I don't, because that's not my job. I'm going to do my job, and that's that. You want that mustard and bleach shit? You go catch the motherfuckers, because I'm not doing that shit. I told you I don't play that fucking shit. Don't try to make me do something that's not my job. So, I was only on the job for like maybe 40 minutes, tops. So, I bought my own music, because, Burger King they had their music player, but when the boss leaves, they cut it off. Well, Don never left, but they cut off the music. I had my music on, but it was really low. So I cleaned the broiler. I cleaned the french fry rack. And then he told me I had to go in the walk-in to get stuff. I said, dude, I'm not allowed to go in the walk-in because our boss above you said that if I go in the walk-in, I'm going to be fired. Because somebody was stealing all the goddamn Reese's cakes, and it wasn't me, because I never ate the shit that wasn't in the fucking freezer. And we all got to have one Reese's cake, and you could have a burger and fry, or you could cook like whatever they had out for you to cook. But you couldn't go in the walk-in and get anything fresh and open it up. That was one of the golden rules that they had at Burger King. So I guess you really can't have it your way. But anyway, so I had one Reese's cake at least on the 2 nights that I worked, which was only Mondays and Tuesdays. Alright? So when Monday Night Raw went off, my ass was at Burger King. So that was a Monday night. That was the night I think Rock got thrown into the Potomac River. And I'm going to work right after it. I got to work late that night. Technically, I was on time because work doesn't start till midnight, but I had to be there at 11:30 because they closed the door. But they leave the back door open, so it's a long policy. It's fucked up. But anyway, so I come in there and they're doing that. Don puts me through the ringer for a little bit, and then Don sees that mustard stain on top of the ceiling over the broiler, and he looks at me and says, you're going to clean that up. And I look at him and say, no, I'm not, because that's not my job. And then Don says the magical words that no one should ever say to a person of color, because it's a good way to get your fucking teeth rearranged. Took everything I could not to hit him. But Don looked at me and he said, I'm your fucking boss, and you will fucking do what I fucking tell you to do, or you're fucking out of here. And I looked at him. I cracked a little smile because I was a little pissed off. And when I smile, when I'm pissed off, someone's going to get fucking hit. He didn't get hit. I smiled back and said, well, fucking thank you, buddy, because I'm fucking out. And I walked out. But I fucked up. I left my Cherokee grandmother's radio in Burger King. So I had to go back and get that shit, because she's been dead forever and a day, and I wasn't going to leave that shit there. So I went back and I got my radio, because it's my property. I inherited it. I think the radio got stolen or it got smashed. I don't really know what happened to it because I don't have it anymore. But anyway, went back in, and this racist bastard was talking about me like a fucking dog. that half-breed son of a bitch this, that half-breed son of a bitch that half-breed son of a bitch motherfucker couldn't fight his way out of a wet paper bag with holes in it. Now what he doesn't know is that I'm standing right behind him, and he turns this red when I say the following racist statement, and I apologize if this offends you. And I said, I will beat your lily white ass right here, right now, with the Joker smile on my face, because I was ready. As I came back from my motherfucking radio, but it looks like you want to fight. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to fuck your shit up. He's like, well, thank you for threatening me in front of these grown people. And I said, these grown men want me to fuck your shit up. They just don't want you to get fucked up by them because they have families to feed. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't have children. I don't have a criminal record yet. But I'm going to fuck your shit up. If you come outside of Burger King, I'm going to fuck your shit up. But before I go, I'm going to say one last thing. When I come get my final check, you better fucking respect me. Because if you don't fucking respect me, I'm going to snatch your little ass over that motherfucking counter in front of all the goddamn customers, and I will beat your lily white ass like you stole something. And then I walked out with my motherfucking radio. This motherfucker called the cops on me, and I had left Burger King property and was sitting in the Food Line Hallmark parking lot over at fucking Pantops. So the cops came out, circled the parking lot looking for me, and then they saw me in the parking lot over in the Hallmark parking lot. So they proceeded to talk to me from the Burger King parking lot. They said, are you the guy we're looking for? I said, yes, I am. He said, you threatened your manager? I said, yes, I did. And he said, you know we can arrest you. And I said, no, you cannot. And he's like, how you figure that? I said, because what you fail to understand is that I used to want to be a police officer. I know exactly what I can and can't do and how far I can push the motherfucking law before you arrest me. I can threaten anybody on this motherfucking planet except the goddamn president. And you can't touch me until I act on that fucking threat. I said, if Don drives out this motherfucker tomorrow and has a car wreck, then you can come get me. But I'm not going to fuck up his car. Because I don't know shit about mechanics. I'm going to fuck him up. His car didn't do shit to me. If he walks out that goddamn door before sunrise tomorrow, I'm going to beat his ass. Then you can come and arrest me. Other than that, y'all can't touch me, and I ain't in Burger King property, so you can't arrest me for trespassing. Both of those damn cops were white, and they both were dumbfounded as fuck, and they said, you know what, sir, you are 1,000% right. We cannot touch you because you are not over on Burger King's property. We can't get you for threatening, and we can't get you for trespassing because you're not within the facility, which puts you out of our jurisdiction because you're also in a private parking lot. Technically, it's a public parking lot, but they really couldn't get me because I was exercising my right of free speech. And your free speech and hate speech is a thin line. I didn't hate the motherfucker. I just started to whoop his ass. Because he needed an ass whooping for calling me all kinds of half-breeds, which I'm sure he didn't tell the cops, which I also pointed out. I said, I suppose he didn't tell y'all that he said my half-breed ass couldn't fight my way out of a wet paper bag with holes in it. Now, you guys are white, you're not mixed, so you don't know how much that angers somebody who's mixed, and I'm also a martial artist. So be forewarned, if I catch this motherfucker by himself, I'm going to deliver him an ass whooping. And if you happen to come and arrest me after that, I'm not going to put up a fight. But he's going to wish he never met me when I catch him. So I never got a hold of him. That's how that story ended. Kinda. Now let's go to construction. I was working for RE Lee Construction, which left me leading me to leave Burger King, and I worked at the mall at the Learner before I got the job at Sears. So the movie Friday came out. That's a very relevant part of me getting fired, so pay attention to that. So I'm working at the Learner New York, and then I got the construction job. So I go to the construction job, and I'm working with this fella named Rick. I do not know his last name, and I do not give a fuck, because he fired me on my fucking day off at Sears after getting me the job with Dana, who was a preacher. The job was going to be for me, except for there was one problem. They wanted me to quit going to school. And I wanted to be an actor, so quitting going to school was not a fucking option. Alright? Although school would make me wind up quitting because of this deal. Long story, no relevancy. Anyway, so I'm at the construction job, and I only have that job for maybe a week. I get this assignment. We're at this doctor's house in Ivy, and he wants to turn his Olympic-sized pool into a cafeteria-sized kitchen, like a Army DFAT kitchen, one of those huge motherfuckers. If you've been in the military, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Where there's cooking stations for miles and miles. You can serve an Olympic team and a platoon and a company in this fucking kitchen that this guy was building. Dude had money. I never worked a jackhammer before. I knew how to work a drill, and this was a jackhammer drill. Never seen it before that day that I got that bitch stuck in that wall. So the bitch is bigger than my hands. You know, I have to use both hands to actually use the bitch. The trigger's about the length of my cell phone, so your whole hand has to squeeze the trigger, and the handle is this big, and you hold this thing like this. So I'm digging out the wall. Never used it before. I told the supervisor I didn't know how to use it because I never seen anything like that before. I seen a regular jackhammer, and I'm too small to be using that. But this asshole, who was a Marine, didn't want to listen to me. It's like, dude, I'm not qualified for this shit. It's like, you're going to work it today. Hadn't been on that bitch 2 minutes. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Put it in reverse, but reverse wasn't reverse, and that bitch said, boom! And I was like, oh, shit. So now I'm like Spider-Man. I got both my feet against the wall, and I'm pulling and pulling and pulling, and this bitch is in deep. I mean, this shit, you know how like when dogs have sex and they get stuck together? That's how deep that shit was in. Just like, oh my God. So then I go over to the boss, and the boss has the other guy who has the other drill, the only other one they have, and he broke 4 bits trying to get my shit out the wall. And he said, I thought you said you knew how to work this. No, I said I didn't know how to work this, but since you're a Marine and you don't know how to fucking listen, if you took that jarhead head of yours out of your ass, maybe this shit would happen. Maybe you'd put me on something like moving those things or picking up those things or doing some shit like that. This shit wouldn't happen. So for the next 2 days, he had me doing other things, sweeping and shit. But then he got mad because we had a discussion about the military, and I told him that all my uncles served in the Army. Some of them served in the Navy. And he said, why don't you join the military? I said, no, I don't want to join the military because all my uncles joined the military, so I wouldn't have to. I still managed to wind up going to the military. It's probably the best thing that anybody in my family's ever fucking done. So he's like, oh, so you don't want to be a Marine? I said, no, sir. I know a lot of Marines, and most of y'all are fucking assholes. And I don't want to be that. I want to be a gentleman without being an asshole, like the movie Officer and a Gentleman, because he was in the Navy. I said, okay, so that's how you feel about the Marines, huh? Okay, we'll see you tomorrow. So, came back to work tomorrow. This motherfucker had me working in the rain. But he didn't give me a job per se. What he did was make me carry cinder blocks in a wheelbarrow. And they weren't even cinder blocks, it was just fucking rocks. I had to pick them from one place to another, dump them, reload them, take them back to the place I got them from, dump them, reload them, take them back. And I did this shit 15 times because I didn't want to lose my fucking job. But on the 15th time, the boss sent the new kid out to come tell me it was time to go get lunch. I told the new kid, you tell the boss, because the rock was really popular. I told the boss, I said to the new kid rather, I said, you tell the boss, I quit. I'm not coming back. And if he has any questions, you tell him. I said, take this wheelbarrow, turn that sumbitch sideways with every one of these motherfucking rocks in here, and shove it up his ass, because I'm out. And I left. On the way past, Rick said, what's going on? I said, man, I quit. This motherfucker's fucking with me because I'm a little guy, and he's just fucking abusing his power and all this other shit, which he was doing. And Rick says, I'll tell you what, see me at Sears tomorrow morning at 6:30. I was like, all right. And so I went and got the job. And so I met up with Dana. Dana gave me the job on the spot. On the spot. Can you start today? Yes, I can. Have you ever worked a clean machine before? And I was like, no, I did not. I said, make sure you hear me. No, I do not know how to work the floor machine. And they was like, well, you're going to learn. Alright? So, we're going to fast forward to learning to work the clean machine and then getting fired. So, one week, we didn't have to work Saturdays. So, one day I came in and Dana taught me how to work the machine. The next week, Dana took me off the machine. I'm going to explain why, and Dana's a man, by the way, in case you missed it in the first part of the video. He's also a preacher. So, Dana says, you're going to use the clean machine and you're going to clean the entire floor of Sears. You're going to get here 5:30. I want you on that machine. I want you off that machine by 8 o'clock. Well, that wasn't going to be a problem because come 7 o'clock, Dana was working the machine. So this is the fun part of the job. There's a lingerie section. Let's just say I know a lot about thong underwear and matching tops because I broke around that corner and apparently the floor squeegee part missed some of the water, which happened to catch under my feet. And if you let go of the thing, it stops. My dumb ass didn't fucking remember that. This bitch picked up a lot of goddamn speed. And again, at this time, I'm like what I am now, about 121. And this bitch shot off like a motherfucking rocket. I didn't think these things could get more than maybe a mile an hour fast, if that. I swear this bitch was doing a bit of 5 miles an hour. This motherfucker hit max speed because apparently I turned the dial up to full power, which I didn't know I wasn't supposed to do because Dana did not tell me that. He said, you go into the light is fully green. Full power. So I had that shit all the way up. All the way up. And when we came around that corner after we got past the electronics, there was water under my feet and we rocketed it. And this thing is like you steer a boat. If you want to go right, you steer to the left. You want to go to the left, you steer to the right. This bitch was wide open. And there was no way in hell I was letting this bitch go. Because it was dragging me. And I'm literally hanging on for life on this bitch. And it's wide the fuck open. It's like, and I was like, oh my god, I can't stop. And I looked up. All I could see was the underwear section. And that's where we were going. Not the men's underwear, because at Sears we sold men's underwear in packs. Women underwear, we hung up on coat hangers. Lots of fucking coat hangers. Like about 13 racks of those motherfuckers. Guess who knocked down all 13 of those motherfuckers? That's right. That was me. Let me see if this thing can Google what a clean machine looks like. Image of a clean machine for buildings.
Here is some information for
No, not
what
that.
machines are used in building. Here's a summary from the constructor.
Yeah, not that. Let me see if I can call it something else. Floor cleaning machines.
According to Wikipedia, a floor scrubber is a floor cleaning device.
Can you just show me the fucking image? Okay. Come on, give me the picture. No, not the video. This is what that shit looked like. Only it had 4 wheels. It was much longer. Maybe there's a better image. Yeah. That bitch was like this. But it was way bigger. Way bigger. So, just imagine being pulled by one of these damn things. At full fucking speed. And I hit those fucking underwear. I was wide open. I think when I hit the last rack is about the time I probably fell off the damn thing. But I was fucking wide open. I might have hit the first rack and let go. But whatever I was doing, it wasn't working for me. Dana come running around the corner. Because he heard all the commotion. And I mean, these motherfucking racks felt like dominoes. You wouldn't think that because they had bases, that they would have felt like, oh, no, them motherfuckers was done. I was cleaning up underwear from 7 to about 8:30. Because I fucked up that badly. I had to match black thongs with black bras and bustiers. And corset things. And I was fucking working out. I spent the rest of my morning doing that shit. Dana had to do his part of the job plus my part of the job. After that, Dana decided that the bathrooms was where I would be working. Until he resigned. And then he resigned and Rick, the same guy that got me the job, became the manager. Because I couldn't give up school. So, here's where shit gets fun. So, I'm there for almost a year. Wasn't there a whole year, just like Burger King. Wasn't there a whole year. Burger King, I was there almost a year. I got fired before being there a year. I got fired a day before being there a year. So, maybe 2 days before being there a year. But I got fired. Now, well, at working at Sears, the movie Friday came out. And I laughed my ass off. Because Ice Cube got fired on his day off. So help me God, I never ever thought that shit was real. Never did I ever think that you could get fired on your fucking day off. Of all days to be fired, how do you get fired on your day off? And that shit stuck with me. I laughed about that shit for days. Because I only seen the previews, right? Because movie previews come out at least 2 or 3 weeks before the movie comes out. So, job has a Thanksgiving party. Don't worry, I'm going back to Friday. But I seen the previews about Friday by Thanksgiving time. Ice Cube's got a movie coming out called Friday. Every time you turn around, there was something, everybody's talking about it. I finally seen the previews for it. But before I seen the previews, it was Thanksgiving party. Part native, remember? There were no other part native people working there. And I went to work the day after the Thanksgiving party. Because we didn't have any days off. Except for the weekends. And when I came to work, the place looked like Mount St. Helens blew up 3 times in that room. There was maggots everywhere. There was trash. There was puke. You name it. Everything was everywhere. And this big, tall Amazonian chick named Gail. Did I say chick? What I meant was this big, tall Amazonian bitch named Gail happened to show up while I'm going the fuck off. I literally became a Native American that day. I literally was full Native. I was on the fucking warpath like a motherfucker. Because no way in hell that grown-ass people should allow that. My room is small. It's as small as it can be. Their room that this kitchen was in was a decent-sized kitchen. All the trash cans were overflowing. I had to scoop puke off the floor. I had to clean maggots up. And I had no gloves whatsoever. And the gloves I did had, they were like, one had a hole where the pinky was, one had a hole where the thumb was, a hole in the middle finger, and this one barely had fingers covered on the gloves, and it had a rip down here. And I had to clean all that shit up with my hands. And I was going off. Because they couldn't take 15 steps to go get extra trash bags. They knew where our closet was. They refused. I had to load all that shit up and try not to puke myself at the same goddamn time. So she came in. And I had beef from day one. And she asked me what the fuck I said. And I said, bitch, you heard what the fuck I said. All of y'all motherfuckers is grown. Y'all could have took 15 goddamn steps to get some motherfucking trash bags. Well, it's your job to clean it. I said, hold on. It is my job to clean it. But when I get off this job, I don't go into your section and piss on your floor. I don't go in your section and shoot a deuce where you work. I don't go in your section and puke up where you work. I don't do that to none of y'all. When I leave this job, I leave this place spick and fucking span. Because that's my job. But when I get off and I become a customer, I don't come in here and give y'all motherfuckers a hard time. How fucking dare you tell me how to do my job and then you turn around and make this mess? Well, I'm going to go report you to your manager. Go ahead, bitch. I'll tell him myself. And sure as fuck, I went and told Rick everything that I told her. Every goddamn thing, verbatim, word for a motherfucking word. And that was the first time I realized I never want another black boss as long as I'm breathing. Because that shit would come back to bite me in the ass. And I would wind up getting fired on my motherfucking day off. That very weekend, that Friday came out. Because I don't work Sundays. Or Saturdays. And I had to babysit my younger brother. So come Friday, I go to work, don't think nothing about it. I'm planning to go see the Friday movie. I don't know that's going to be the last time I spend a check from Sears until I get my last check. So I go to the movies. I think the movies was maybe $8, not counting popcorn. Because, like I said, I laughed my ass off on Friday. The movie and that night before I went to go see the movie, because the concept of losing your job on your day off was just over my head. Yeah, it's just over my head. And I didn't believe it could happen until it did. So come Friday, the boss says, hey, can you work this Saturday? I was like, nah, dude, I got my little brother. He said, hey, what are you doing Sunday? I said, I have my little brother. He said, well, can you come in for about an hour on Sunday? I said, I can make that happen. So when I went home, and I was living with my uncle at the time, I told him, and he said, I'll take care of your brother, don't worry about it. Go on and go to work. Get your money, buddy. So I went on to work for an hour, and he worked me like a motherfucking $2 whore. And then, now mind you, the night before was Saturday, and the night before that was Friday, and I went to go see Friday on opening night. Still laughing about that shit come Saturday and Sunday. until I got fired. Now, I'm going to tell you when I found out I was fired, because that's going to be really funny. That's going to be the funniest thing. So, I'm at work, working like a $2 whore. Leave the job, he gives me this pack of papers. It's like either 7 papers or 14 papers, but it's like 7.5 or 14. We're just estimating because it's so long ago I don't really remember how many fucking papers there were. But I drive a stick shift, and there were no cell phones, and you can't read and drive at the same time. I mean, you can if you got an automatic, and if you're just that good, God bless you, as long as you haven't killed anybody. But me personally, I'm not that goddamn good. So I'm driving, I'm looking at that paper, and I'm driving, I'm looking at that paper, and I'm driving, I'm looking at that paper. I want to know what this paper says really fucking badly. And I read better silently than I do out loud. So I'm just wanting to get home so I can read this motherfucking paper. So I get to Castella Street, throw the car in reverse, and pull up the e-brake, and I get out the car. As I get out the car, I done grab this paper now. Before the door closed, I done got through at least 3 pages. And this damn paper has everything that I have said and done on fucking Sears. It has me cussing out Gail. It has me cussing out the bathroom bitch. It has me cussing out somebody else. And it has me saying something else and doing something else. And then it has the whole Thanksgiving thing, word for word, verbatim, what I told him, what she told him, everything. And that last little page, just a little bit bigger than an index card, says you are no longer employed by ICC, and you have been effective immediately terminated. Boy, I almost jumped back in that motherfucking car and went back to Sears. But I was laughing because I got fired on my fucking day off on the exact same weekend that Friday came out, and I thought that shit was impossible until it wasn't. So I got to my door at my uncle's house. He's like, "What's going on with you? I've never seen you smile like." I said, "Because I'm mad as fucking hell, and I want to beat the fuck out my boss." He's like, "What?" I said, "This dude done fired me on my motherfucking day off. He could have just fired me on Friday. No, this motherfucker made me give up a Sunday to fucking fire me." Now I'm mad as shit, because my cousin, she worked at Sears, and I worked at Sears. We worked different shifts. I had to take her to work. I had to pick her up. When I took her to work, Rick wasn't there. When I came to pick her up, he was there. And don't think for a New York minute that I did not lay into that motherfucker's ass. Because I did. And I was mad as fuck because this motherfucker got me the job. And instead of talking to me like a man, just said, "Look, you fired, dude." Nah, this motherfucker worked me like a $2 whore. And then fired me. And not like a man. He gave me fucking paper. He couldn't fire me face to face like a man. He gave me fucking paper. Literally gave me paper. So let me backtrack real quick. There was an incident in the bathroom. And you guys gotta hear it. Because ladies, I love you, but your bathroom habits are atrocious. There's no excuse for the shit that went on in the ladies' bathroom at Sears. God help anybody who was still working there after I left. This is gross. So ladies, I apologize. Gentlemen, do not clean ladies' bathrooms. It will change your perspective on women for the rest of your life. I have 5 sisters, and they're not gross. But the women in the bathrooms at Sears, oh my God. Oh my fucking God, yo. I never ever thought I'd live to see the day where I would have to peel shit off of a fucking wall. So, the lady, the bathroom bitch, that was my bones cracking. Just in case y'all heard of that. And y'all want to think that shit was gas, but no, that was my bones cracking. Got some more. Anyway, so one day, after peeling shit off the floor, the men's bathroom was bad because there was always some gay dude drawing dicks and shit and putting his phone number. If you're gay, call this number. I had to paint the walls in Sears' bathroom for the men every 3 fucking days because this guy would forever draw dicks. Back to the ladies' bathroom. You would think that the tampon bags would be the worst thing that you'd have to clean up. No. Peeling shit off the wall with a dough scraper, trying to aim it in the toilet so that you could flush it down the toilet was the fucking worst. In the men's bathroom, the worst thing I had to deal with was fucking boogers. Everywhere. Boogers. boogers. I painted over the motherfuckers. I got tired of dealing with them some bitches. Got tired of trying to scrape them off the wall and trying to get them on me because I'm a very anti-nasty person. If it's nasty, I avoid it. Like at all costs. If you're talking about puke, I walk away. If you're talking about shit, I walk away. If you're talking about blood, like tampon blood, I walk the fuck away. But when it's your job, you can't fucking walk away without another job to go to. And this shit was an every fucking day thing until I got fucking fired. This is when I got fired. I didn't even clean the bathroom that day. But anyway, back to the bathroom chick. And yes, I am adjusting my underwear. Okay. They're going to have to do. Anyway, so one day, I go through the ladies' bathroom, and I go into the gentleman's bathroom, and I clean the gentleman's bathroom, and I clean the ladies' bathroom. And this bitch, and I'm sorry, ladies, if I'm offending you, but if the shoe fits, wear it. This bitch comes out the bathroom and meets me in the entryway, because the entryway is unisex entryway, so you can go into the male's bathroom and the female's bathroom from the same corridor. But you know, there's a camera there to make sure that men don't go into the women's bathroom and vice versa. That's one of those little globes that you see in the ceiling. There's one right there. There's also one in the bathroom. So they have security. And if you don't know what those are, whenever you go shopping, just look for something that's in the shape of a fucking dome. They're generally silver or black, but they look like a chrome dome. Anyway, back to the story. She meets me in the middle of the hallway. And she goes, "Did you clean the ladies' bathroom?" I said, "Yes, ma'am. I cleaned the ladies' bathroom first." "Well, you didn't clean it good enough." I said, "Okay, I'll take care of it tomorrow. Because I got to get off the clock now. Because it was time. I used to do the ladies' bathroom last and the men's bathroom last because they're the hardest ones to clean. They take the longest. Because there's like 15 toilets in the women's bathroom and 3 toilets in the men and then like 4 or 5 urinals. No, because we don't have to go through all that shit that they do. Plus, I have to clean tampon bags, and I have to scrub the floors, and I have to scrub the sinks and the mirrors, etc., etc. So you clean the men's bathroom first because all you have to do is fuck with boogers, and you can avoid boogers, but you can't avoid the tampon bags and shit like that. That takes a lot of time. So the next day, I do special treatment for the women's bathroom, and by special treatment, we had these cans of spray soap stuff. So first, I scrub the fuck out the bathroom. Like floor, ceiling, all that shit. Don't even really fucking dry the mop bucket. I just like splash the whole fucking floor. It's gonna dry, don't worry. There's a drain hole in like every 3 stalls there's a drain hole. So I don't really wring the mop out. I just let that motherfucking shit go. I sprayed Comet all over the floor, scrubbed that motherfucker. I specifically spent my entire day doing that part of the job. Before I did anything else. I did that shit. And then I did the men's bathroom. Then I did the other shit that I'm supposed to do. Came back, the ladies' bathroom, double checked it. So I got the like scrubbing bubble shit. Sprayed that shit all over every fucking toilet in there. You had to sit on it. Cause I went through like 7 cans of spray. So bitch can't say it ain't clean now. So I sprayed it, and you have the toilet seat, and you have a coat of foam all over the toilet, on every toilet in that damn place, except for the men's room. I ain't give a fuck about us, because most of us stand up and piss. And if you gotta shoot a deuce, you're sitting on a clean toilet, but you gotta shoot a deuce. But for the women, y'all generally have to sit. Again, I loaded that shit up with so much motherfucking foam, you wouldn't believe it. So I finish up in the men's bathroom, and I meet the bathroom bitch again. So the bathroom bitch comes at me. "Do you know that there's soap stuff all over the toilet?" I said, "Okay, first off, yesterday you said that the damn bathroom wasn't clean enough for you. With all that motherfucking soap on that toilet, if it's still not clean enough for you, then you need to go home and wash your fucking ass. Because now you're telling me it's too clean because it's soap all over the toilet. Well, yesterday you was complaining because the shit won't clean enough. Well, bitch, the shit got enough soap on there that even Jesus can eat off that motherfucking toilet and the goddamn floor. Now say something else to me about this goddamn bathroom. You want it cleaner? You come in here, you take my job, and you clean it your goddamn self." She reported me to the manager. I just didn't know it until the day I got fired on my day off. So that was also one of those damn sheets of paper. Verbatim, word for word, just like that. Because I called her a bitch twice. No. I won't think about that shit. I'm in my 20s. Yeah, but that's the last thing I'm thinking is, this bitch gonna report me. I ain't think about that shit because I was mad that she didn't like the fact that I cleaned the toilets, but it wasn't clean to her fucking standards. So that ain't my fucking problem. My job is to clean the toilets. And they didn't say I was cleaning that shit for the Messiah. They just said I had to clean that shit. But that's what I did. I cleaned it. But when she complained about it, I did my job. I cleaned it. I cleaned it so well I couldn't get the soap off the motherfucker. Purposefully. So that when she came in there and seen all that soap on there, she know that shit was clean. How you gonna complain about something being clean if that's my job to clean it? So, long story short, there's still a long story, but, shortening it up now. I came back to see Rick on Monday when I came to pick my cousin Tasha up. Tanya, excuse me. Tasha must be talking about me. So I came to pick up my cousin Tanya from work. And he happened to be heading to the office where I happened to be standing. Mad as a motherfucker. With those papers in my hand. Those 14 or 15 sheets of paper and a half. And Tanya came around the corner. I said, here go the keys to the car. You may want to... Oh, damn, she can't drive stick. I said, you may want to wait. Or you may want to stand here and pull me off this motherfucker. Because I'm about to beat his ass. He's like, hold on, man. I said, hey, no. Ain't no hold on. You got me this job. You could have fired me Friday like a man. Face to face. The same way we talk when I got fired from the goddamn REB construction. You could have fired me like a man, dog. You let me work on my one damn day off. Knowing that I gotta go to school on Monday. Today. Knowing that I gotta work 2 other jobs. One at this fucking mall. Today. And then go back to school. And go home and watch kids that ain't mine. And you fired me on my motherfucking day off. The only goddamn day I have off. And you ain't fired me like a man. You gave me fucking pieces of paper. And one was even a half sheet. You knew who I was when you got me the job. You could have talked to me like a man. I would not have kung fu kicked your head in or none of that shit. Like I'm about to do right fucking now. Say, hey, it ain't gotta get like that. I said, no, it has to get like that because see, here's that thing. Black bosses shouldn't treat black employees like we less than because you black and you think you a little bit better than me because you have the management position. I got it. But what you fail to understand is just because you management don't mean you're a better human being. It just means you have a better job. So you need to respect your people. And then Tanya talked me down. And I said, man, don't ever find nobody like that shit again. Well, it's procedure. I said, procedure can get your ass killed. So you might want to consider that shit before you fire somebody else and on their motherfucking day off. So, got my keys, crumbled up that fucking paper, uncrumpled the paper, and took that shit home as a fucking reminder of what happens on jobs. So yeah, those are 3 of the jobs that I got fired from. FYI, when I went back to Burger King, by the way, to get my check, Mr. Vaughn actually gave me respect because I made an incredible scene when I went there. And I said, yeah, I'm here for my last check, and you better respect me because this is a place full of people, and not one of these motherfuckers other than the people behind that counter is black. So if you say one thing out of line, I'm going to snatch your ass over this motherfucking counter, and I'm going to commence to beat your ass the way I was supposed to beat it the other night when you fired my black ass. Okay, sir. Here's your check, sir. Have a great day, sir. I said, my damn name is James. It's not sir. You better remember who the fuck I am. Because if we cross paths again, you better believe I still owe you an ass whooping. And so, I got my $15 check and went home. And cashed it at F&M Bank before they decided that my money wasn't good enough for them anymore. Fuck you, F&M. Now, final part. I would wind up colliding with Don Vaughn one more time when he moved over to my side of town and got management at 5th Street Burger King. They literally gave him his own store. So I have a 16-year-old sister at this time. She's well past 16 now and she's 5 kids deep. And this dude and Mr. Bean. This dude looked exactly like Mr. Bean. They are behind my 16-year-old sister when I came to pick her up one night. And they're doing this shit to her ass. Now, if you don't think me being a big brother was not in the right to be angry and stomp my fucking ass in there and say something, then you're probably not a good big brother. Or your sister's a bitch. And she probably deserved that shit. But my sister wasn't a bitch. And she didn't deserve that shit. And she was 16 fucking years old. And this dude was the age I am now, between 48 and 49. Maybe it's 47. But his age was definitely showing. And I was pissed. Here's my 16-year-old sister. I got these two old fucking perverts. One white dude, one Indian dude. Not the ones with the feathers. Walking behind my sister as she's walking to go do her job. And they steadily doing this shit. You know, they doing the Kevin Nash. Because Kevin Nash used to slice people up before he clothesline them or give them the big boot. I'm mad as a motherfucker. And I showed up in that store. And Don Vine turned red again. And I said, that's my sister, dude. She's 16 years old. If I ever catch you doing that shit again, I will set fire to the front door, raid out the back door with a shotgun, set fire to the goddamn drive-thrus and the fucking escape hatch on the fucking ceiling of this building. And you ain't got one way out, and that'll be through me. I will blast your ass to death out this motherfucker, throw you back in the building, and I live over there. So all I gotta do is get rid of the gun and go through the woods. They'll never find me before they find what's left of your charred ass body. If she comes home crying one night from this job, I promise you, I will make your life a living fucking hell. And I will beat the fucking brakes off you every goddamn day if any tears falls out of her eyes. For every tear that come out of her eye, it's gonna be an ass whooping for you. And every damn tear leads to every punch and kick that I'm going to do because my little mixed ass can fight my way out of a wet paper bag with holes in it. In case you forgot who the fuck I am. He turned red again and said, this will never happen. I said, you damn right, because I'm going to pick her up every motherfucking night unless something goes wrong. Something did go wrong. I was in a car accident not too long after having that. My mom had to pick her up because I got hit by some Mexicans in the back. And they were speaking Spanish to me, but I'm not Mexican. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this true story. And I thank you guys for watching. So, for Kung Fu Havoc number 2, I am Echo Fang Grey Wolf, the actor formerly known as James Williams Jr. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. Be seeing you. Thank y'all. Y'all mean everything to me. Be seeing you.